neighborhood. Well, tonight, the Pentagon has included Duluth-based Cirrus aircraft on a list of Chinese military companies operating in the United States.
And Congress required the Pentagon to make the list. Cirrus is owned by a Chinese conglomerate, and the document does not ban Cirrus aircraft from being sold in the U.S., and it's not immediately clear if the listing will have any impact on the company. However, the Pentagon says being labeled a Chinese military company means Cirrus is not eligible to receive U.S. defense contracts. As Cirrus did not respond to our request for comment, we also reached out to several lawmakers who also had no comment or just did not respond.